Vincent van Gogh's life story. Vincent van Gogh was a renowned Dutch artist known for his post-impressionist paintings. Here is an overview of his life story. Early life. Vincent Willem van Gogh was born on March 30, 1853, in Zundert, Netherlands, into a middle-class family. His father was a minister, and his mother came from a family of art dealers. Vincent had a deep appreciation for art from a young age, but he initially pursued other professions, including working for an art dealership and as a teacher. Artistic journey. In 1880, at the age of 27, Van Gogh decided to dedicate his life to art. He moved to Brussels to study art, focusing on techniques such as drawing and painting. He then spent time in various locations, including The Hague, Drenthe, and Paris, where he encountered different art movements and artists that influenced his style. Paris and Impressionism. In 1886, Van Gogh moved to Paris, where he became acquainted with the Impressionist and Post-Impressionist movements. He developed a close relationship with his brother Theo, who financially supported him throughout his life. During his time in Paris, Van Gogh painted vibrant landscapes, still lifes, and portraits, experimenting with color and brushwork. Arles and the Yellow House. In 1888, seeking to establish an artist community, Van Gogh moved to Arles in the south of France. He rented a house known as the Yellow House, where he hoped to create a haven for artists. It was during this time that he produced some of his most famous works, including Sunflowers and The Starry Night. However, Van Gogh's mental health began to deteriorate, leading to conflicts and tensions with fellow artists. Struggles with mental health. Van Gogh's mental health issues, including episodes of depression and anxiety, greatly impacted his life and art. He experienced frequent bouts of emotional instability and suffered from self-doubt. These struggles culminated in the infamous incident where he cut off a part of his ear. Van Gogh voluntarily entered psychiatric institutions for treatment, and during these periods, he continued to paint prolifically. Later years and legacy. In 1890, Van Gogh moved to Auvers-sur-Oise, a small village near Paris, under the care of Dr. Paul Gachet. He created numerous artworks during this time, but his mental state remained fragile. Tragically, on July 29, 1890, Van Gogh died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, at the age of 37. Although Van Gogh's work was not widely recognized during his lifetime, his posthumous fame skyrocketed. His distinctive style, characterized by bold brushwork, intense colors, and emotional expressiveness, greatly influenced modern art. Van Gogh's paintings are now highly regarded and celebrated worldwide, and he is considered one of the most influential artists in history. His life story and artistic struggles have captured the imagination of many, and Van Gogh's legacy continues to inspire artists and art enthusiasts to this day. Here are some more details about Vincent van Gogh's life and his artistic journey. Early career and influences. Before pursuing art full-time, Van Gogh worked at an art dealership in The Hague and later as a teacher. During this period, he was exposed to a wide range of artworks, including Dutch masters, Japanese prints, and the Barbizon school. These influences would later shape his artistic style. Relationship with Theo van Gogh. Vincent had a close and supportive relationship with his younger brother Theo, who worked as an art dealer. Theo provided Vincent with financial and emotional support throughout his life, allowing him to focus on his artistic endeavors. The brothers maintained an extensive correspondence, with Vincent often discussing his artistic ideas and struggles. Symbolism and emotional expression. Van Gogh's art was deeply expressive and often symbolized his inner emotions. He used color, brushwork, and composition to convey his feelings rather than focusing solely on realistic representation. His use of vivid, contrasting colors and dynamic brushstrokes became hallmarks of his style. Influence of nature. Nature played a significant role in Van Gogh's art. He frequently painted landscapes, flowers, and rural scenes, capturing the beauty and emotional essence of the natural world. He had a particular affinity for the countryside and spent time painting on plein air outdoors to capture the fleeting effects of light and atmosphere. Mental health struggles. Van Gogh's mental health issues had a profound impact on his life and art. He experienced frequent bouts of depression, anxiety, and psychosis, which affected his ability to work and maintain stable relationships. Some art historians speculate that his emotional turmoil was reflected in the intensity and rawness of his artwork. Artistic productivity. Despite his relatively short career as an artist, Van Gogh created a vast body of work. He produced around 2,100 artworks, including approximately 860 oil paintings, in just over a decade. His prolific output during his most productive years was a testament to his dedication and passion for art. Posthumous recognition. Van Gogh's true artistic genius was only recognized after his death. His works gained popularity in the years following his passing, with exhibitions and retrospectives showcasing his remarkable talent. Today, Van Gogh's paintings are among the most sought after and valuable in the art world. Van Gogh's life and art continue to captivate audiences worldwide. His unique style, emotional depth, and personal struggles have made him an iconic figure in the art world, inspiring generations of artists and art enthusiasts alike. Artistic influences and movements. Van Gogh was inspired by various art movements and artists of his time. He admired the works of Jean-François Millet, Gustave Courbet, and Edouard Manet, whose realistic and socially conscious approach resonated with him. He also found inspiration in the works of the Impressionists, including Claude Monet and Camille Pissarro, who emphasized the use of light and color. Close relationship with Paul Gauguin. In 1888, Van Gogh invited fellow artist Paul Gauguin to join him in Arles. They lived and worked together for a brief period, which proved to be both creatively stimulating and emotionally challenging. Their contrasting artistic styles and personalities led to tensions and eventually culminated in a famous incident where Van Gogh cut off part of his ear. Artistic techniques and experimentation. Van Gogh continually explored and experimented with various artistic techniques and mediums. He used thick, textured brushstrokes known as impasto to create a sense of movement and depth in his paintings. He also experimented with pointillism, using small dots or dashes of color to build up forms and create vibrant effects. Use of self-portraits. Van Gogh created numerous self-portraits throughout his career, using himself as a subject to explore his own identity and emotions. These self-portraits provide a unique insight into his state of mind and serve as a visual diary of his artistic and personal struggles. Artistic themes. Van Gogh's artwork covered a wide range of subjects, including landscapes, still lifes, portraits, and scenes of everyday life. He often found beauty and meaning in ordinary and overlooked subjects, infusing them with a sense of vitality and emotional intensity. Artistic recognition. While Van Gogh struggled to gain recognition during his lifetime, his work began to receive acclaim after his death. His sister-in-law, Johanna van Gogh Bonger, played a crucial role in promoting and preserving his artwork. Exhibitions of his paintings, along with the publication of his letters, helped to establish his reputation as a pioneering artist. Influence on modern art. Van Gogh's artistic contributions had a profound impact on the development of modern art. His expressive use of color, texture, and form paved the way for later art movements such as Expressionism and Fauvism. His bold, emotionally charged style continues to resonate with artists and art lovers around the world. Vincent van Gogh's life and art exemplify a profound dedication to artistic expression and a relentless pursuit of capturing the essence of the human experience. His unique artistic vision and remarkable body of work have left an indelible mark on the art world, making him one of the most influential and celebrated artists of all time. Van Gogh's artistic style underwent significant transformations throughout his career. In his early works, he painted in a dark and somber palette, influenced by Dutch realism. However, during his time in Paris, he adopted a brighter color palette influenced by Impressionism, incorporating light and color into his paintings. In his later works, he moved towards a more expressive and symbolic style, characterized by bold brushwork and heightened emotional intensity. Supportive artistic community. Van Gogh was part of several artistic communities and circles during his lifetime. In addition to his relationship with his brother Theo, he had connections with other artists such as Paul Gauguin, Émile Bernard, and Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec. They exchanged ideas, debated artistic theories, and influenced each other's work. Artistic struggles and rejection. Van Gogh faced numerous challenges and rejections throughout his career. He struggled with self-doubt, financial difficulties, and the perception that his work was unconventional and not commercially viable. His paintings were often met with criticism and indifference by the art establishment of his time. Influence of Japanese art. Van Gogh was deeply inspired by Japanese woodblock prints, known as ukiyo-e. He collected and studied these prints, incorporating their flattened perspectives, bold outlines, and vibrant colors into his own artwork. Japanese art had a profound impact on his compositional choices and his exploration of new artistic techniques. Van Gogh's artistic method. Van Gogh had a rigorous approach to his art. He painted on plein air, working directly from nature, and often completed multiple studies and sketches before creating a final painting. He believed in the importance of capturing the essence of his subjects, and sought to convey his emotional response to the scene through his brushwork and color choices. Legacy and artistic influence. Van Gogh's legacy as an artist is immense. His unique style and the emotional depth of his work continue to inspire artists across the globe. His use of color and brushwork, his exploration of psychological and emotional states, and his personal approach to art have had a profound influence on subsequent generations of artists. Posthumous recognition. Van Gogh's artistic contributions gained widespread recognition and appreciation after his death. His paintings are now considered masterpieces and are showcased in renowned museums and galleries around the world. His life and work have been the subject of numerous books, films, and exhibitions, cementing his status as an iconic figure in the art world. Vincent van Gogh's life and art continue to captivate and resonate with people from all walks of life. His struggles, passion, and artistic achievements have left an indelible mark on the art world, making him one of the most celebrated and influential artists in history. One of Van Gogh's early notable works is The Potato Eaters, 1885. It is a dark, realistic portrayal of rural life and peasants gathered around a table. This painting reflects his desire to depict the harsh realities of everyday life and his empathy for the working class. Artistic collaboration with Émile Bernard. Van Gogh had a brief but significant artistic collaboration with Émile Bernard. They exchanged letters and ideas, discussing new artistic theories and exploring innovative techniques. Together, they developed a style known as cloisonnism, characterized by bold outlines and flat areas of color. Mental health and artistic expression. Van Gogh's mental health struggles often manifested in his artwork. During periods of emotional distress, his paintings became more intense and emotionally charged. Some of his most famous works, such as The Starry Night, Irises, and Self-Portrait with Bandaged Ear, were created during times of psychological turmoil. Art market and reception. Van Gogh's artwork struggled to find recognition during his lifetime, and he sold only one painting. However, his posthumous fame soared after his death, with Theo's efforts to promote his work and subsequent exhibitions. Today, Van Gogh's paintings are highly sought after and fetch record-breaking prices at auctions. Subject matter. Van Gogh's subject matter extended beyond traditional genres. Alongside his landscapes and portraits, he also painted still lifes, including vibrant floral arrangements, sunflowers, and his iconic series of shoes. He found inspiration in everyday objects and sought to infuse them with meaning and emotional resonance. Influence on Expressionism. Van Gogh's expressive use of color and brushwork played a crucial role in the development of Expressionism. His ability to convey emotions and his use of distorted forms and vivid hues greatly influenced artists such as Ernst Ludwig Kirchner, Egon Schiele, and Edvard Munch. Letters to Theo. The extensive correspondence between Vincent and Theo Van Gogh provides invaluable insights into the artist's life, thoughts, and artistic process. These letters, which span over 800 pages, offer a glimpse into his creative struggles, personal relationships, and artistic ambitions. Artistic technique. Van Gogh often applied paint directly from the tube and used thick layers of pigment to create texture and depth in his paintings. He experimented with various mediums, including oil, watercolor, and drawings in charcoal and ink. Vincent van Gogh's life and art continue to captivate audiences with their emotional power and expressive qualities. His artistic contributions have had a lasting impact on the art world, influencing generations of artists and touching the hearts of millions through his unique vision and artistic expression. Artistic techniques and style. Van Gogh's artistic style evolved throughout his career, characterized by bold brushwork, visible texture, and vibrant colors. He often applied paint thickly and used visible brushstrokes to create a sense of movement and intensity. His distinctive style is often associated with post-impressionism, a movement that sought to break away from the limitations of impressionism. Health and well-being. Van Gogh's mental and physical health were intertwined with his artistic output. He suffered from various health issues, including epilepsy and bouts of depression. Despite these challenges, he found solace in painting and considered it a therapeutic and transformative activity. Influence of religion. Van Gogh's religious upbringing played a significant role in his life and art. Although he initially aspired to become a pastor like his father, he later found his calling in art. However, his spirituality continued to influence his work, and he often depicted biblical scenes, religious figures, and themes of spirituality in his paintings. Locations and travels. Van Gogh lived and worked in various locations throughout his life. He painted in the Netherlands, Belgium, France, and even briefly stayed in England. Each location had a distinct impact on his art, as he drew inspiration from the landscapes, people, and cultures he encountered. Artistic criticism and re-evaluation. While Van Gogh's work is celebrated today, it faced considerable criticism and rejection during his lifetime. Critics often dismissed his unconventional style and the emotional intensity of his paintings. However, his unique vision and contribution to art were recognized and re-evaluated in the years following his death. Artistic influences. Van Gogh was influenced by a diverse range of artists, including Jean-Baptiste Camille Corot, Jean-François Millet, and Honoré Daumier. He admired their ability to capture the human condition and draw attention to social issues through their art. Additionally, Japanese art, particularly ukiyo-e prints, inspired him with their bold compositions and use of color. Legacy and cultural impact. Van Gogh's impact on art and culture cannot be overstated. His works continue to inspire and resonate with people worldwide. His tragic life story, artistic struggles, and posthumous recognition have turned him into an iconic figure. And his paintings are among the most celebrated and recognized in the world. Vincent van Gogh's life and art exemplify a passionate and unyielding pursuit of artistic expression. His unique style and powerful emotional depth have left an indelible mark on the art world, and his legacy continues to inspire and captivate audiences across generations. Van Gogh was influenced by a wide range of artists and art movements. He admired the works of the Dutch masters, such as Rembrandt and Vermeer, and incorporated elements of their techniques into his own art. He was also inspired by the works of contemporary artists, including the Impressionists and Neo-Impressionists, such as Claude Monet, Georges Seurat, and Paul Signac. The Yellow Period. During his time in Arles, Van Gogh entered a period known as the Yellow Period. He used vibrant yellow hues extensively in his paintings to depict the sun, light, and the vitality of nature. This period is marked by works such as Sunflowers and The Yellow House. Artistic collaboration with Paul Gauguin. Van Gogh's collaboration with Paul Gauguin in Arles was a significant period for both artists. They shared ideas, exchanged techniques, and created side by side in the studio of the South. Although their collaboration was brief and ultimately tumultuous, it had a profound impact on Van Gogh's artistic development. The Starry Night, is one of Van Gogh's most famous and iconic paintings. Created during his time at the St. Paul de Mausolée Asylum in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence. It is a nocturnal landscape featuring swirling skies, a crescent moon, and a village below. This masterpiece showcases Van Gogh's unique style and emotional intensity. Mental health and artistic expression. Van Gogh's mental health struggles were closely intertwined with his art. He experienced episodes of severe depression, anxiety, and psychotic episodes, which sometimes hindered his ability to create. However, he also found solace and refuge in art, using it as a means of self-expression and a way to cope with his inner turmoil. Influence on color theory. Van Gogh's use of color was revolutionary and had a lasting impact on color theory. His bold and expressive color choices, including complementary and contrasting combinations, helped push the boundaries of traditional color usage in art. He believed that color had a symbolic and emotional power, and he sought to capture the essence of his subjects through his vibrant palette. Post-Impressionism and Van Gogh's place in art history. Van Gogh is often considered one of the leading figures of Post-Impressionism, a movement that sought to go beyond the limitations of Impressionism. His emphasis on subjective expression, innovative use of color and brushwork, and his exploration of the emotional and psychological aspects of art made him a pioneer in the development of modern art. Vincent van Gogh's life and art continue to captivate and inspire people around the world. His unique artistic style, emotional depth, and relentless pursuit of artistic truth have made him an enduring figure in art history. His works are celebrated for their ability to evoke powerful emotions and to transcend time and place.